Welcome back, listeners. Tonight, our journey takes us to a place where the air is heavy and the silence is loud. We're stepping into the purple-hued streets of Lavender Town, a small village tucked away in the shadows of a mountain, known for its towering monument to those we've lost. You're about to join Eric Crow, the voice of the Ghost Channel, for a midnight vigil. You'll hear the names of the departed, the frantic whispers of those lost in the mist, and the static of a world that's moving just a little too fast for a town built on memory. Before we lose the signal to the fog, please subscribe to the channel. It's the best way to ensure our community of drifters stays together in the dark. And if you'd like to support our world building further, links are waiting for you in the description. But for now, the spirits in the tower are wide awake, and they've finally found a frequency they like. Don't be surprised if you feel a cold hand on your shoulder. It's just the town making itself known. Turn off the lights and settle in. The broadcast starts now. You're listening to 91.4, the Ghost Channel, the only station that stays awake when the rest of the world is afraid to dream. It's just after midnight. The sensors on the north face just went dark, which means the mist is officially rolling in. Most of you know the drill by now, but for the new folks, the students from Celadon or the travelers stuck at a Poké Center, don't let the color fool you. When the air starts tasting like ozone and old pennies, it's time to call the Growlithe back in and bolt the latch. If you hear a scratching at the door that sounds like a friend, but your partner Pokemon is backing into a corner with their fur standing up, don't open it. Some visitors in Lavender Town don't need an invitation to make themselves at home. I've been tracking signals from the peaks of Mount Moon all the way down to the volcanic coast of Cinnabar, and I'm telling you, the energy tonight is different. It's heavy. It's the kind of night where the repels don't work quite as well as the packaging promises. If you're listening from a tent on Route 12, watch the tall grass. If you're tucked away in a volunteer house, give Mr. Fuji my best. And for the love of everything, if you're a trainer thinking about taking a shortcut through the rock tunnel and you don't have a Pokemon that knows Flash, just don't. Some things are left better in the dark. We're here until the sun breaks over the Silence Bridge. We've got a long night ahead of us, and the tower is already starting to hum. Let's go to the phones. .4, the Ghost Channel. You're on the air. Who's calling tonight?
My name's Arthur. I live over on the east side, near the old stone wall. I'm calling Eric because my Growlithe, he's been under the porch for 3 hours. He won't come out, even for the good scraps. He's just down there digging like he's trying to get under the foundation.
Welcome to the show, Arthur. Sounds like your partner has a case of the tower tremors. It's the fog. It carries a static charge that usually hits the animals first. They get restless when the stones start humming.
It's more than that. I went out with a lantern to pull him out, and I saw a kid standing by my garden fence, just staring up at the tower. I thought it might be the neighbor's boy, Joey. I called out to him. I told him he should be home in bed.
And let me guess, he didn't have much to say?
Well, he didn't even turn around. He just pointed at the tower, and I looked at his hand. It wasn't a hand. It was, it looked like a cluster of white roots, and the smell, it hit me all at once. It was like wet earth and old, forgotten flowers. When I looked back, he was gone. Just a patch of dead grass where he'd been standing.
Classic manifestation, Arthur. You said you're near the east wall? Those ley lines bleed over into the residential plots this time of year like clockwork. It's harmless. Just the tower playing back an old memory. It's not really a kid, and certainly not the neighbor's boy. Just an echo looking for a place to sit.
Well, but Eric, I can still hear him. He's scratching at the siding right now. It doesn't sound like fingernails. It sounds like wood. Scraping on wood.
He'll stop by sunrise, Arthur. My advice? Pull the heavy curtains, put the radio on a little louder, and let the house settle. He's just a drifter. He doesn't want your soul. He's just waiting for the mist to lift so he can find his way back to the tower. Hang in there, neighbor. You're not alone. That was Arthur on the east side. For the rest of you listening in, if you see those shadow neighbors in your yard tonight, don't overthink it. They're just echoes. Don't invite them in. Don't talk to them. And for heaven's sake, don't try to catch them with a Pokeball. You can't capture a memory. We're going to take a track now from the 95 archives. We're here all night long. Listen to us and drown out the scratching on your walls. .4, the Ghost Channel. You're on the air with Crow. Who am I speaking with on this fine, foggy evening?
Crow? It's Larch, from the Mart on the corner. Listen, I know you've got a show to run, but can you do me a favor and put out a PSA or something? I've got a ghastly in my walk-in freezer again. 3rd time this month. 3rd time.
The freezer again, Larch? That's becoming a bit of a habit for our purple friends. Usually they stick to the attic rafters or crawl spaces where dust settles. What's the draw for the cold storage?
Well, this one's got expensive taste. He's sitting right on top of my premium shipment of moo moo milk, straight from the farm in Johto. You know, that stuff isn't cheap to ship. And every time I try to reach past him to grab a bottle, the damn thing licks my hand. Have you ever been licked by a ghastly, Eric? My arm's been numb from the elbow down for 20 minutes. It feels like I got my hand stuck in a bucket of dry ice and needles.
I've had a few close calls back in the day, Larch. It's a sensory shock mostly. He's just looking for the frost. The mist outside's heavy tonight. It's humid. It's stagnant. To a gas-based entity, your industrial cooling unit probably feels like a 5-star resort.
I don't care if it's the Celadon Hotel. I've got overhead. I've got a line of trainers out the door. Kids in those ridiculous neon hats. They're complaining that their fresh water tastes like rusted nails and ozone. One kid told me his soda pop started fizzing backwards. How does that even happen? I'm losing revenue by the minute, and my night shift clerk refuses to come out of the bathroom because he says the ghastly is making faces at him through the glass.
They're pranksters, Larch. They feed on frustration as much as cold. The more you yell at him, the more he's going to keep enjoying moo moo milk.
I tried shooing him out with a broom. I even tried waving a Sylph Company catalog at him to remind him, he's officially unidentified without a scope, but he just phased through the antidote display and came back in through the ice stones. Now he's making this low, gurgly sound. I think he's laughing at my inventory list. And now he's knocked over a stack of polka dolls, a whole stack. Those things are hand-stitched.
Listen to me, Larch. Take a breath. I can't do much from the booth, but here's what you do. Stop the shoeing, open the freezer door wide, go to the front counter, take one of those burn heels, and just leave it open on the floor. Then turn off the shop lights, take a 15-minute walk around the square, give him some space. He'll get bored once he realizes you aren't going to give him a show.
A burn heel? Do you have any idea what my profit margins are on those? I'm not running a charity for the deceased here. I'm running a business. Next thing, you'll tell me to offer him a seat at the register. Hold on. He's doing it again. He's making the lights flicker in the Great Ball Aisle. It's like a rhythmic flickering. If I lose my compressor because of a prankster in a purple shroud, I'm sending the repair bill to the radio tower. I pay my taxes. I shouldn't have to share my freezer with a cloud of spite.
We all share the town larch. Some of us just don't have heartbeats anymore. Play the music loud and try to relax. He'll move on when the sun hits the glass.
Fine. But if I find a haunter in the deli case tomorrow, I'm calling the Cinnabar Island authorities. Can you play something soothing for us? Something to put him and my headache to sleep.
Listeners, you heard the man. If you're heading to the mart for supplies tonight, maybe skip the dairy section for an hour or so. Or, if you're feeling brave, go in and buy a bottle of that ozone milk. Might give your Pokemon a bit of a kickstart, or a very confusing morning. You know, it's funny. We spend all this money on technology, on scopes, sylph tech, and sometimes a bit of patience and a 250 yen burn heal is the only way to get through the night. We're going to keep listening to our track from the archives. Something rhythmic, something steady. This one goes out to Mr. Larch and his uninvited guest. Stay frosty, Lavender. Are you tired of uninvited guests in your hallways? Do the shadows in your kitchen linger just a few seconds too long after you turn on the light? At Sylph Company, they understand that living in Kanto region's spiritual heart comes with unique challenges. That's why they've developed the Sylph Home Guard series. The new Aura Seal window tinting is guaranteed to reduce spectral bleed by up to 40%, keeping your living room on this side of the veil. And for a limited time, visit the Lavender Pokémart and ask about the Sylph Scope rental program. Don't be startled by what you can't see. Identify it, understand it, and reclaim your peace of mind. Sylph Company, building a clearer future. They are not responsible for hardware failure in areas of extreme spiritual density. .4, the Ghost Channel. You're on with Eric Crow. Sounds like you're underground or something, friend. Everything all right down there?
Eric, I'm in the basement of the underground path, the one that cuts toward Saffron. I was supposed to deliver a parcel to the mart, but I haven't moved in 2 hours. I can't.
The path is usually clear this time of night. Did you run into a patch of Grimer, or is some fog leaking into the vents?
It's not the fog, it's the vibe. I was passing the midpoint when the air started feeling like static, you know how it gets when you're near Saffron lately. Ever since Sabrina took over the gym, the whole city feels like it's vibrating on a different frequency. But tonight it's bleeding out here into the tunnels.
Yeah, I've heard. They say the psychic energy over there is getting so thick you can see the thoughts in the air. Sabrina doesn't exactly keep a tight lid on things when she's meditating.
Well, whatever she's doing tonight, it's hitting the tunnel hard. I looked down the corridor, and the lights weren't just flickering, they were bending, literally curving toward the ceiling. And the sounds, I keep hearing like a spoon hitting a ceramic plate over and over. Clink, clink, clink. But there's no one here. I'm the only one in the tunnel.
Listen to me, Derek. You're catching a psychic spillover. When Sabrina goes into a deep trance, the proximity to the tower here in Lavender creates a sort of feedback loop. The ghosts want to manifest, and her mind is giving them the blueprints to do it. That clinking, it's a mental echo. It can't hurt you unless you start believing it's real.
I'm trying, Eric, I really am, but I don't know. It's like a wall of pure intent is moving toward me. Is she always like this? Does she know she's doing this to people?
Sabrina sees things a bit differently than we do, Derek. To her, we're just background noise. My advice? Don't look towards Saffron. Turn your back to the city, close your eyes, and think of something incredibly boring. Focus on the taste of a potion or the sound of the waves at Vermilion City. You need to ground your mind so her frequency passes right over you.
I'll try. Wait a second, the clinking stopped. Now it sounds like someone's whispering a series of numbers. 04, 05, 06. Is this a countdown? Is she counting down?
It's just a sequence, Derek. Probably her testing the range. Don't engage with it. Just keep your eyes shut. Wait for the air to stop tasting like electricity. I'll play something heavy and low frequency for you. It should help cloud the signal. Hang in there, traveler. Sabrina. Honestly, you'd think with all that evolved psychic power she'd have the courtesy to keep her late night sessions within the city limits, but that's the problem with Saffron. They think they're the center of the world. And the rest of us? Just static in their ears. If you're in the tunnels tonight or anywhere near Saffron Gates, keep your thoughts simple. Don't give them anything to latch onto. Let's go into another set now. This one's for Derek. Let's try to find some quiet in all this noise. Stay tuned. .4, the Ghost Channel. You're on the air.
Hi, Eric. My name's Martha. I live in the row houses near the tower. I'm sorry to bother you. I know you've got a lot of people calling in tonight.
It's all right, Martha. I imagine it's pretty loud back there tonight with all the wind hitting against the stone.
It's not the wind, Eric. It's the scratching. My husband is trying to sleep, but, well, listen. She's back in the yard. A Marowak. She's just pacing the length of the garden, dragging the club along the pickets. Scrape. Thud. Scrape. She's been at it since the sun went down.
Well, she's looking, Martha. They get restless when the fog is thick. They think the mist is hiding what they're looking for.
I know, but I looked out the kitchen window to pull the shades, and the little one is there too. The Cubone. He's just sitting by the bird bath. And Eric, it's just so wrong to look at. He's sitting there wearing that skull, her skull. And she's rocking right past him, looking for the very thing he's already carrying. She looks right through him, searching for a child that doesn't exist in that form anymore.
That's the tragedy of Lavender Town. The tower doesn't see the whole picture. She's trapped in the moment of loss, and he's trapped in the after. They're on two different ends of a broken bridge. She's looking for a face that's hidden under a mask she provided.
I tried to open the back door. I thought maybe if I left a bit of food out, it would, I don't know, help. But the moment I touched the latch, she stopped. She didn't turn around, but she just stiffened. And then she let out this sound. It wasn't a rawr, Eric. It was a deep, wet sob. Sounded like it was coming from the bottom of a well. The little one didn't move. He just adjusted the skull on his head and stared at the dirt. I closed the door and I sat on the floor. I couldn't watch it anymore.
You can't fix a memory, Martha. Especially one that's literally part of the animal now. My advice? Just let them have the garden. Pull the heavy curtains, put the radio on a little louder, and try to get some rest. There's nothing we can do for them tonight. Some things are just broken.
I suppose you're right. Thanks, Eric. Good night.
.4, the Ghost Channel. Caller, you're on the air.
Yeah, hey, my name's Bernie. I'm in the lower tunnels of Mount Moon, and I swear on my life, I am 2 minutes away from losing my mind. Have you ever tried to navigate a cave with a flashlight that's running low while being stalked by a pack of damn Clefairies?
Hey, take it easy, Bernie. A lot of people travel for miles just to get a glimpse of one of those. They're supposed to be lucky, right? Bringers of starlight and good fortune.
Lucky? Good fortune? These things are psychological terrorists. I've been trying to find a ladder to the surface for an hour. An hour! But every time I turn a corner, there's another group of them. They're just standing there with the moonlight, wiggling their little fingers and saying Clefairy in that high-pitched, mocking tone. It's like being heckled by a bunch of sentient marshmallows. I tell them to move, they just tilt their heads and bounce.
Well, maybe they're trying to lead you to a moonstone, Bernie. It is a full moon tonight. The energy in the caves is probably peaking.
I don't care if they're leading me to a pot of gold. They're pranking me. I set my rucksack down for 5 seconds to check my map, just 5 seconds, and one of them wanders over and uses metronome. You know what it turned into? Splash! It didn't even do anything useful. Damn Clefairy just sat there flopping around on my sandwich, and now my lunch is a soggy, pink-tinted disaster. And then another one, and this one had a really smug look, used Encore. So I had to watch the first one flop on my hand for another 30 seconds. It's ridiculous.
Well, they do have a sense of humor, Bernie. A bit chaotic, but it is their mountain. We're just guests.
Guests? Listen, I pay my taxes to cover the maintenance of these tunnels. And the noise, the singing, it's like a choir of toddlers that's eaten too many rare candies. I tried to shoo them away with my hiking boot, and one of them used Sing. I woke up 10 minutes later, my shoelaces were tied together. I'm a grown man. I have a mortgage. I shouldn't be getting bullied by something that looks like a dessert with wings. And they're everywhere. I look up at a ledge, Clefairy. I look behind a rock, 3 more Clefairies. I take a shortcut through the dark. I hear a Clefairy whisper right in my ear. It's like they're multiplying every time I blink. And don't get me started on the sparkles. Everything is covered in pink sparkles. My boots, my vest. I gotta walk into Pewter City looking like a damn fairy tale prince.
Listen, Bernie, you're fighting a losing battle. If you stay angry, they'll just keep metronoming you into a corner. Reach into your bag, find a piece of foil or a shiny badge, and just throw it down an opposite tunnel. They'll chase the sparkle, and you can make a break for the ladder.
I shouldn't have to bribe them, just so I can walk home. Oh, God, they're doing it again. They're pointing at my bald spot and giggling. Stop it! Stop it! I am so tired of these damn Clefairies! Get away from my rucksack! That's my socks! Don't metronome my socks!
Good luck, Bernie. I hope your socks survived the encounter. For the rest of you traveling through the moon tonight, maybe pack an extra sandwich you don't mind getting splashed on. And keep your hats on tight. They clearly have a thing for bald spots. It's a strange world, isn't it? We spend all night worrying about the ghosts in the tower, and here's poor Bernie getting dismantled by a bunch of Clefairies in a cave. I suppose horror comes in all shapes and sizes, even ones that bounce. Let's get back to the music. We'll take some more calls shortly. Stay tuned. 91.4, the Ghost Channel. On the line next, we have Hayden out at the docks. You're on with Crow, Hayden. What's going on? Are the Magikarp biting tonight?
I'm not even on the boat, Eric. I'm standing on the shore, just south of town limits, looking out toward the water. I think the signal is acting up tonight. Are you hearing anything strange on your end? Any feedback?
Well, now that you mention it, the needle on the output is jumping a bit. There's been a high-frequency hiss under the floorboards here that usually only shows up when the tower is venting. Why? What are you seeing at the waterline?
The water, it isn't moving right. I'm looking at the waves hitting the rocks, but they aren't splashing, they're just flickering, like a bad transmission on an old set. 1 second, the wave is there, and the next, just a block of gray static. And there's a shape out there. It's floating just above the surface. It's a block, a jagged, pixelated mess of red and white. It doesn't have a face, it doesn't have a body, but it's making a sound, like 1,000 printers all jammed at once, screaming in binary.
Hayden, listen to me very carefully. Don't, under any circumstances, look directly at that thing for too long. And for God's sake, don't try to identify it. Don't look for a head or a tail. We call that the missing entry. It's what happens when the tower's energy hits the salt air and the data of the town gets scrambled. It's kind of like a hole in the world.
It's getting closer. It's not swimming, it's sliding across the air. My Pokeball, the one with my shelter, it's getting hot. It's vibrating so hard that it's burning through my belt loop. I tried to click the release, but the button, it's gone. The plastic is smooth, and the sky, the fog, it's not purple over the water anymore. It's just gray and moving up and down. I feel like if I take one more step forward, I'm going to fall off the edge of the map. I can't see the horizon, Eric. It's just blank. Like the ink ran out.
Well, you just need to walk away right now. Turn your back on the coast and head towards the lights of the Poké Centers. That thing out there, it's a kind of corruption. It's the ghost of the system itself. If you stay there, it'll scramble everything you're carrying, your bag, your ID, even your memories. I've seen men come back from that beach and forget their own names because they look too long. Get out of there.
I'm moving, but I can hear it in my head now, Eric. It's calling out a list of names. Names of people I haven't met. Every time my flashlight flickers. I'm leaving, Eric. I'm not coming back to the docks until the sun is up and the world is solid again. I can't breathe out here.
Smart move. Get some coffee at the Mart and stay in the light. Don't look back at the water until the fog clears. I'll stay on the line until you hit the pavement. Listeners, that was Hayden. For those of you who have lived in Lavender long enough, you know the rule. Stay away from the eastern shoreline when the fog turns gray. Some things in this world weren't meant to be documented, caught, or even seen. They're just errors in the script that haven't been erased yet. Maybe we'll get some rain, and it can wash away some of the static. Keep your radios low, your partners close, and just settle in. Success has a sound, and it's the sound of a click of a high-tension chain, the whisper of rubber on asphalt, the feeling of wind in your face as you leave the tall grass and the wild encounters far behind you. You've spent your life walking dusty paths between pallet and pewter. Isn't it time you rose above the pedestrian? Introducing the Miracle Cycle Series 1. Engineered in the heart of Saffron City and hand-finished in cerulean, the Miracle Cycle isn't just a mode of transport, it's a statement. With a frame lighter than a Pidgeot's wing and a gear system smoother than a psychic's premonition, you won't just travel, you'll glide. Visit their showroom today in Cerulean City, priced at just 1 million Poké Dollars. The Miracle Cycle, because some things are worth every single cent. Note: bike vouchers are not accepted at this location. Professional riders only, helmet not included. All right, listeners, look at that clock. We're past the witching hour. The mist has officially swallowed the streetlights, and the phone lines have gone quiet for a moment. That can only mean one thing. It's time for our midnight log. This is the part of the broadcast where we put aside the traffic reports and the missing Pokemon posters, and we look at the stories that didn't make it to the official league handbooks. These are the reports that are filed in the back of the station, the ones written in shaky handwriting on the back of napkins and old receipts. Tonight's entry comes from a former Sylph Company technician who spent a week working on the transmission lines near the power plant on Route 10. He didn't want his name used, and after you hear this, you'll understand why. It started on a Tuesday. The technician, we'll call him C, was sent out to investigate a series of power surges that were frying the PC storage systems in Lavender. He traced the surge to an old, abandoned substation halfway between the town and the power plant. When he arrived, the air was humming so loud his teeth hurt. He found a magnemite hovering near the main transformer. Now, normally these things are harmless. They feed on excess juice. But this one, it was different. It wasn't hovering. It was pinned to the wall, its magnets fused to the copper plating, and it was vibrating in a way that sounded like whispering. C reached out to pull it away, but the moment his glove touched the casing, the magnemite's eye, that big singular pupil, rolled into the back of its head, and a voice came out of it. Not a Pokemon cry, a human voice. It was the voice of C's own daughter. She was calling for him. She was telling him that it was dark under the mountain and she couldn't find her way out. But here's the thing, listeners. C's daughter was safe at home in Saffron City. He had just talked on the phone with her 10 minutes prior. He backed away, terrified. But then the other magnemites in the room started to gather. 6, 12, and then dozens of them. They didn't attack. They just formed a circle around him, their magnets clicking together in a rhythmic metallic pulse, and then they all started to speak. They weren't just mimicking his daughter anymore. They were playing back every conversation C had ever had in his life. His first heartbreak. His mother's last words. He heard secrets he'd never told a soul. All of it screaming out of these floating pieces of steel in distorted electronic chorus. He ran. He didn't look back. He left his tools, his van, everything. When the authorities went back the next day, the substation was empty. No magnemites, no voices, just a pile of discarded Pokeballs that had been melted from the inside out. C doesn't work for Sylph Company anymore. He lives out in a cabin in the woods, far away from any power lines. He says sometimes, when he's alone in the silence, he can still hear his own voice coming from electrical outlets in the walls, waiting for him to finish a sentence he started 20 years ago. Be careful what you say into the wind, neighbors. In a town like this, the air has a very long memory, and it doesn't always know how to keep a secret. 91.4, the Ghost Channel. Caller, you're on the air. Who am I talking to?
Is this the Ghost Channel? Eric? Look, my name's Ted. I'm a driver for the Lavender Florist. Well, I was, till about an hour ago. Now I'm just a guy sitting in a van on Route 12 waiting for the world to end.
Welcome to the show, Ted. You're a long way out for a delivery this late. Did the bridge lights go out again?
Well, the lights are fine. The road's the problem, or specifically what's sitting on it. I'm just past the Silence Bridge, heading south, and I'm officially a prisoner of the asphalt. I've got a van full of fresh funeral wreaths for the morning services at the tower. They're wilting by the second because I can't get past this mountain of meat and fur.
Let me guess. One of our larger, rounder neighbors decided to take a nap in the middle of the thoroughfare.
It's a Snorlax, the biggest one I've seen in my entire career, and he's parked right across the narrowest part of the bridge, dead center. I can't go around him because the guardrails are too high, and I sure as hell can't go through him. This guy's snoring so loud he's creating ripples in the water. Every time he breathes out, my van rocks 2 inches to the left. I'm watching my side view mirror vibrate right off the bracket. I feel like I'm sitting in the middle of a localized earthquake that just won't stop.
Well, did you try your horn, Ted? Sometimes a good blast is loud enough to startle most of the local wildlife back into the tall grass.
The horn? Eric, I've been laying on the horn for 20 minutes straight. I think I actually burned out the fuse. You know what he did? He just incorporated the sound into his dream. Now he's snoring in the same key as the horn. It's like a duet. I even got out and tried to give him a nudge, which was the biggest mistake of my life, by the way. It's like trying to push a giant, hairy marshmallow made out of lead. He just rolled over in his sleep, this slow, terrifying rotation, and nearly pinned my foot to the pavement. And he's got a smile on his face, too. He's having the time of his life, probably dreaming about a buffet. Meanwhile, my inventory's turning into expensive compost.
Yeah, you can't wake a Snorlax with normal means, Ted. It's a biological impossibility. What you need is a polka flute. Did you try calling the volunteer house? Mr. Fuji usually keeps a pulse on where the local instruments are.
I did call. Some young lady answered and said the flute is currently out on loan to some kid in a red hat who is heading towards Fuchsia City. So what am I supposed to do? Just sit here and watch my flowers rot? I tried playing your station as loud as my speakers could go. I was hoping maybe the static would bother him, but he just started rhythmic breathing to the beat of the last track you played. This guy's a fan of the Ghost Channel, apparently. He's literally vibing in his sleep while I'm losing my pension.
Well, listen, Ted. Play the radio louder, maybe it'll disrupt his cycle enough for you to squeeze the van past. If not, you might as well just recline your seat. He'll wake up eventually, usually when the wind carries the scent of something edible.
A snack? I got a sandwich in my glove box. You think that'll work? Wait a minute. No, hey, he just twitched his nose. I think he heard me say ham through the glass. He's still asleep, but his stomach just growled so loud it's setting off car alarms. I'm not kidding. This is a nightmare. I'm going to be here until the next generation of trainers comes through, aren't I?
Well, look on the bright side, Ted. You're safe from the ghosts. Nothing, not even a Gengar, wants to haunt a bridge when there's a giant sleeper blocking the entrance. Just keep the radio on. I'll keep you company through the night.
Yeah, play the music. I'm going to go see if he likes mustard. If I'm not back in an hour, would you mind telling the other florists that I went out fighting? Thanks for taking my call.
Good luck with the mustard, Ted. If you're heading south tonight, folks, find a different route. Route 12 is officially closed due to a localized gravity well and a very deep sleep. It's a good reminder that not everything in Lavender is a ghost. Sometimes the world just wants to take a nap and doesn't care about your schedule. We'll head back into the music for a minute. This one's for you, Ted, and the big guy on the bridge. Stay cozy, neighbors. Alright, before we get back to the calls, I do have a high priority notification here on my desk. This one was hand-delivered to the booth by Officer Jenny. She asked me to get this out onto the airwaves immediately. Local police are putting a bolo for the perimeter of the Pokémon Tower and south-facing alleys behind the mart. Police are tracking reports of multiple individuals seen wearing black tactical vests with large crimson R's on the chest. That's right, folks. Team Rocket is reportedly back in town. According to Officer Jenny's notes, they're not just looking for rare captures tonight. Witnesses claim they've been spotted near the tower's foundation with what looks like heavy-duty acoustic dampeners and specialized containment units. We've already had 2 reports tonight of residents hearing unnatural, high-frequency screaming coming from the lower levels. Screams that don't sound like any Pokemon we know. They're advising a total stay-at-home order for the next few hours. If you see someone in that uniform, do not approach them. Don't try to be a hero. These people aren't just petty thieves. They're part of the reason the tower's been humming so aggressively lately. They're looking for assets, living or dead, and they don't care who gets caught in the crossfire. Police are also asking that if you see any black sedans with Saffron City plates parked near your property, call the station. Let's keep our eyes open and our doors locked. Lavender's seen enough trouble from these vultures to last a lifetime. Team Rocket. Honestly, you would think they'd have better things to do than dig through the dirt of a graveyard, but they don't hear the grieving. Sounds like Officer Jenny's got her hands full tonight, so listeners, let's not give her any more reasons to worry. We're going to dim the lights here and get back to some calls. This is 91.4, the Ghost Channel. Keep your head down. .4, the Ghost Channel. You're on with Eric Crow.
Hello, Eric. I hope I'm not calling at a bad time. I know you're busy with the news and the trouble in the streets tonight.
Never too busy for you, Mrs. Marrero. I hope you're back home. You shouldn't be out so late with the fog and the Team Rocket activity.
I just got in. My feet are a bit sore, but the walk was quiet. The tower felt different tonight. It felt like it was holding its breath. I sat by the window on the 4th floor for a while, just like I do every night. My husband, Miguel, he always loved the view of the sea from up there. And little Pip, my butterfree, he used to love the way the moonlight hits the stone.
Well, that's a long climb for a night like this, Mrs. Marrero. But you've gone up there every day for what, 12 years now?
13 in November. People tell me I should stop. They tell me the ghosts I'm talking to are just echoes. They say that my Miguel isn't really there, and that Pip is just a shadow in the mist. But tonight, while the wind was howling outside, I felt a hand on my shoulder. It wasn't cold. It felt like old wool. Like the sweater Miguel used to wear when we'd walk together.
The tower has a way of playing back the things we missed the most, Miss Marrero. Sometimes the air just takes the shape of what we're looking for.
I know that's what people say, but my Pip, I heard the sound of his wings. That soft, powdery flutter. He sat right on the edge of the fountain. He didn't have any color, but he was just a shape made out of purple smoke, but he looked at me. He didn't fly away. He just waited until I finished my tea, and then he faded back into the dark. I think they're waiting for me. Not in a scary way. Just how they used to wait for me to finish a long day at work.
They're patient, Mrs. Marrero. And if anyone in this town deserves a bit of peace, it's you. But please, promise me you'll stay inside the rest of the night. The police are worried about the strangers, and I'd hate for you to get caught in their path.
Oh, I'm safe, Eric. Those men in the uniforms, they walked right past me in the stairwell. They didn't even look at me. I think that when you spend as much time in the tower as I do, you start to look a bit like a ghost yourself. They looked right through me. I think I'm just going to have some more tea and listen to your broadcast. It makes the house feel less empty.
Get some sleep, Mrs. Marrero. Maybe we'll see you at the mart tomorrow morning.
Thank you, Eric. Keep the light on for us.
Listeners, that was Mrs. Marrero. Some people in this town don't visit the tower to be scared. They visit because it's the only place where the people they love still exist. Even if it's just in the curve of the mist or the sound of a wing. If you're out there tonight, especially you, Team Rocket, remember whose home you're walking through. This isn't a playground. It's a sanctuary. We're going to be very quiet now, listeners. This is for Mrs. Marrero, for Miguel, and for their butter-free Pip. Stay in the light, Lavender. Listeners, we're going to take a breath for a second. It's time for our nightly tower dedication. Every broadcast, we take a moment and read a letter from a listener who wants to honor a partner that's reached the end of the road. Tonight's dedication comes from a trainer named Eliana. Eliana lives just on the edge of the tall grass near Route 8. She wrote in to tell us about her partner, Barnaby, a sand shrew with a heart far bigger than his stature. Eliana says they met during a dust storm near Diglett's cave. Barnaby was just a fledgling then, but he stood his ground against a whole pack of Mankey just to keep Eliana safe. From that day on, they were inseparable. Eliana sent along a photo of her boulder badge, the one they won together at the pewter gym. She says she still remembers the way Barnaby's scales fell against her palm after that final hit. Hot from the effort, but solid as rock. They spent 3 summers traveling the mountain passes, and Eliana says she never felt the cold as long as Barnaby was curled up by the campfire. Barnaby now rests on the 3rd floor of the tower, in the southeast corner where the afternoon sun hits the stones through the high windows. Eliana says that was always Barnaby's favorite time of day, the hour when the shadows get long and the earth stays warm. If you're passing through the tower tomorrow, Eliana asks if you could leave a single berry by his marker. And if you have a few extra credits in your pocket, she'd like you to send them to the Kanto Wildlife Preservation Fund, specifically their initiative for subterranean habitats. Sleep well, Barnaby. You did your job, and you got your trainer home. And Eliana, thanks for sharing that with us. It's easy to get lost in the ghost stories and forget the lives that were actually lived. But the night isn't over yet, and the switchboard is still lighting up. Let's see who's still awake. 91.4, the Ghost Channel. Caller, you're on the air.
Hey, Eric, it's Ralph from the cottage near the mart. I've been sitting here for 3 hours staring at an Ekans, and I've come to a devastating conclusion. A crisis of the spirit.
Ah, the name raider. It is the middle of the night, Ralph. Is the Ekans' name not truly impeccable tonight?
That's just it. It's Noodles. The trainer, a young lad from the city, calls him Noodles. I looked into this creature's eyes, Eric, and I saw the primal coil. I saw the ancient predator of the tall grass. I saw a soul that has shed a dozen skins and weathered the storms of Route 4. And I'm supposed to tell his trainer that Noodles is the name that fits the essence? It's a tragedy. It's a linguistic cage. He's a living serpent of the earth, not a side dish.
Well, maybe the Ekans likes the name, Ralph. Sometimes a silly name is a comfort in a world full of venom strikes and cobras. It's an endearment.
Endearment? A name is a vibration. It's a tether between the heart and the Pokeball. If the vibration's off, the bond is frayed. I've been trying to rename my own partner, my Abra, for 6 years. 6 years! And every time I think of it, and I thought I have a great idea, he just looks at me and teleports to the other side of the room. He knows. He knows I'm failing him because I'm overthinking the syllables.
Well, maybe he's just telling you he likes being Abra, Ralph. Not everything needs a label to be real.
You don't understand. In this town, names are all we have left. When they go into that tower, the names are what we carve into the stone. And if we give a Pokemon a name that doesn't match, we're misfiling them for all eternity. Are we sending them into the afterlife with the wrong identity? I feel the weight of it. And the fog, it's blurring the lines. I looked into the mirror 10 minutes ago, and for a second, I couldn't remember if my own name was Ralph, or if it was just a suggestion I'd given myself.
Ralph, listen to me. Put the pen down. Go into the kitchen. Make a pot of tea, and stop looking in the mirror. I think you've raided far too many souls today. The names on the stones in the tower, they're not for the Pokemon. They're for us. So we know where to visit. The Pokemon, they know who they are. With or without your certificate.
You think so? You think Noodles won't mind? Wait a second, my Abra just reappeared. He's sitting on my dictionary. He's pointing at Echo. He's pointing at the word echo. That's it. That's the vibration. It's perfect. It's impeccable. Truly impeccable. Good night, Eric, and thank you.
I'm glad I could help, Ralph. Now, go to sleep before you decide Echo is actually a Kevin or something. The Name Raider, ladies and gentlemen. A man who takes adjectives very, very seriously. I suppose he's right about one thing, though. Names are the tethers we use to keep the things we love from drifting away in the mist. Whether it's Echo, or Noodles, or Barnaby, the sand shrew we talked about earlier. As long as you're calling it out with heart, I think they'll hear you. We'll go back to the music for a minute. Maybe it'll help our friend Ralph settle his nerves. This is 91.4. Keep your labels light. Listeners, are you ready for an adventure? Then pack your bags and grab your canteen, because the adventure of a lifetime is waiting for you. We're talking about the world-famous Fuchsia City Safari Zone. And for just 500 Poké Dollars, they'll give you 30 safari balls and 500 paces of pure, unadulterated wilderness. No more battling. This is a test of true instinct. Use their patented safari bait to lure in the rare and elusive. Or toss a safari rock and see who's got the grit to stay and play. You could go home with a Scyther, a Pinsir, or even a legendary Chansey. Management is not responsible for lost items, empty safari balls, or injuries sustained by angry Rhyhorns. Entry fee is non-refundable once the 500-step limit is reached. PA system announcements are final. Please do not feed the execute. High-tier captures are not guaranteed and subject to the luck of the tall grass. The Safari Zone. It's not just a park, it's a Pokemon stampede. Visit today in Northern Fuchsia City. .4 Ghost Channel. You're on with Eric Crow. Where are you, friend?
I'm, just outside the north exit of the rock tunnel, Eric. high up on the ledge overlooking the power plant. I've been hiking since lavender dusk, trying to get to Cerulean before the storm hit, but the mountain had other plans.
That's a dangerous place to be when the clouds drop, hiker. You got a shelter? A fire?
Well, I got my Arcanine, Cinder. She's keeping me warm, but even she's spooked tonight. Eric, I'm looking down toward Lavender from here, and the fog, it isn't white anymore. From up here, it's like a bruised purple, and the tower's glowing. Not with lights, but like a low, pulsing violet energy. It's like the whole building is a giant heart beating in the dark.
Well, the frequency is peaking then. You're seeing the psychic overflow. It's a good thing you're up high.
I called because I can hear you. Not just through the radio, but through the rocks. The caves, they act like a natural amplifier. And your music, it's echoing through the tunnel system. It's the only thing keeping wild geodudes from closing in. They're just sitting on the ledges listening. It's peaceful in a terrifying kind of way. I just want to say thanks, I guess, for being the only voice out here that doesn't try to sound like it's trying to scare me away.
We're all just trying to find a frequency that fits, friend. Keep that Arcanine close. The mountain doesn't forgive, but the morning always comes. Safe travels.
Thanks, Eric. Keep the signal alive. Good night.
Well, that's the board. All the lights have gone from red to amber. The switchboard's finally quiet, though I can still feel the lines humming under my fingers. It's late in Lavender Town. So late, it's almost early. The hour where the ghosts stop being scary and start being lonely. It's been a heavy one tonight, listeners, and we've heard it all, haven't we? We heard from Ted, who's sharing a bridge with a sleeping mountain and a ham sandwich. We heard from Ralph, a man so terrified of misnaming an Ekans that he nearly lost his own mind in a dictionary. A little bit of absurdity to keep the blood moving, I suppose. You have to laugh in this town. Otherwise, the fog gets into your lungs and stays there. But then there's the rest of it. Mrs. Marrero, if you're still listening, I hope the tea's warm. I hope the house feels a little smaller tonight, in a good way. It's a strange thing, isn't it? We built a 7-story monument to the things we've lost, just so we'd have a place to go to feel the weight of them. Ileana, if you're out there, Barnaby is in good company tonight. I can see the tower from my window, and even with those vultures in black vests crawling through the basement with their machines, the building still looks like it's protecting something. Not just stone and mortar. It's 13 years of Rogers sweaters, and 1,000 noodles, or whatever you want to call your Ekans. It's the only place in Kanto where gone doesn't mean finished. To Team Rocket, the ones trying to turn our grief into a collection process, you can tune your frequencies all you want. You can bring your sensors and your containment units, but you'll never own this place. You don't have the stomach for it. You're looking for assets, but we're living with our hearts. And a heart is a much harder thing to contain than a ghastly. I'm going to cut the vocal feed now. I've said enough for one night. If you're still awake, don't look at the shadows. Don't look at the dial. 91.4 is still here. I'm still here. And we're going to sit in this together until the sun finally finds a way through the purple clouds. To the listeners, and the ones we buried today, sleep well. The ghost channel's going dark, but the signal stays live.